Hello friends, and welcome back to the start of another weekly vlog where I take you on a journey with me this week to add some more tattoos to my upper sleeve and have a completely unhinged breakdown at finishing the last and final book in this series. Let the madness begin. Hello friends, and welcome back to the start of another weekly vlog. I, of course, as I always say, am so excited to be doing this one with you because this is going to be a continuation of the Darker Shades series with the third and final book, A Conjuring of Light. I am so excited to be reading this alongside you guys. You have been on this journey with me so far. All of my emotions, the roller coaster that I have been on with this story and these characters, and we are finally bringing it in for a landing with book 3, and I am both very excited and also very sad because I basically read 2 books in between the second and this book because I'm trying not to revert back to my old ways. And I don't want this series to end. I'm so invested in these characters that I am a little sad for this journey to be coming to an end. But the good thing is this book is actually a thick girl. Like, she is over 600 pages. Let's see, what is the page count on this? I don't think I actually officially looked. Okay, 630 pages, so that's a decent book. She chunky. We like that. So we are going to be on this ride for a little bit together, and I am so excited to do it. I did already start. So as you saw, we sat down the other night, started this book. It was nice and moody. It was quiet in the house, and I chipped away at it as much as I could before the night got away from me. And then I sat down and read some more this morning. So I am making some headway on this book already. We are on page 160. Oops. Sorry. This is our first check-in, but it's a 600-page book, so we've got a little bit of time to spend with each other. Also, you got to see just a little snippet of me getting more tattoos. Yes, this is not a common occurrence, I swear to you. It was actually about a year since I had gotten a tattoo. Well, no, that's a lie. I have a thing with tattoos, if you have not noticed. But I had this appointment scheduled for a couple of months already, and the one you saw in the previous vlog for the second book in this series, my husband and I went to a flash tattoo event, got a tattoo there. This was already pre-scheduled with my normal tattoo, my regular tattoo girl. So I was adding to my sleeve. So I'll give you a little sneak peek here. It's very tender and very fresh because this just happened yesterday. But I got the inside worked on, and then the back as well. This is a terrible angle. What am I doing? Why am I showing you this angle? What is wrong with me? But this piece is really cool, and I'll give you more angles later. But anyways, second vlog with a sneak peek of some tattoos happening, which again does not happen very frequently throughout the year normally, but you guys did get to see 2 little snippets of me getting tattoos recently, and all within the same series, all within the Darker Shades series. Maybe there's something with these books that have, like, maybe they inspired me. Anyways, let's carry on with the actual point of this vlog, which is me reading the last and final book of the Darker Shades series. Again, I'm 160 pages in so far. I am absolutely loving it because in continuation of the other books, it picks up where it left off, but it also gets the ball rolling. So when I originally saw that the book was so long, I was a little freaked out because I was like, what if this is just going to be like 60% of not moving, like not seeing anything happen, not getting resolved for anything? That drives me nuts. I know that sometimes you have to like build and plot for the grand finale, but also you need things to hold my attention. Otherwise, I'm just like something shiny and I'm gone. Like, I need things to be happening. I do like fast-paced books. That's just how I function most of the time. So I can say, typical to V.E. Schwab, she has like hit the ground running and things are actually happening, and I love it so much. So where book 2 ended, which I am not going to say exactly how it ended, it picked up there and it kind of brought our characters back together, and all of the kind of like evil, dark, conniving things that were being built in book 2 that I mentioned in the last vlog. So if you want all the details of that, go ahead and get back to that vlog. I'll link it down below in this video too. Those have all kind of come to fruition and they are now in the forefront. So in the last book, when we had the Essentosh competition going on, there was like a lot of distraction. Like, things were happening in Red London. People were pretty preoccupied with this tournament and all the magicians that were in Red London for the tournament. And everything that was happening in White London kind of in the background has now, boom, like come to fruition. We have hit the ground running, and the characters are dealing with the ramifications of everything that happened in White London. So we pick the book up with that starting. That has kind of like trickled over into Red London. So now Red London is basically under attack by the dark magic that was kind of taking time to build the entire time in book 2. And it has made its way to Red London through the Antares. So it kind of needed to use the Antari magicians to travel itself in between the parallel Londons. Like, even this dark magic still needed in Antari to get to its greater goal. So we start the book off with our characters all being reunited, and now kind of coming together to figure out how they are going to fight this very diabolical, evil, pure magic that has like traveled its way all the way from Black London to White London and now into Red London. So lots of action. Really love it. Kel and Lila at the end of book 2, because they did finally have like a reuniting happening in book 2, ended on like really good terms with each other, where in the first book they kind of ended in separate areas. Like, they went their own ways to live their lives, but not in a bad way. Like, they were just like, it's not bye forever. It's like kind of a see you later situation. They were reunited in book 2, and in book 3 we are here with them together, and their relationship is like kind of right there. Like, they are not hiding from each other. They kind of are like, what are we? Like, what are we not? Like, do we like put a label on this? Like, what is it you want? Type of, like when that you're kind of like in that weird beginning stage. That's what it feels like with them, but I love it. So not only are they like, we're badass and we're gonna fight this evil magic, we're also gonna like maybe have a kiss here and there. And maybe like, hey, when you have time, like in between saving the people of Red London, like, check yes or no. Do you like me? That's where it's at, and I love it. I'm eating it up. I just love this writing so much. I don't know how she consistently balances magic, like such a heavy magical setting, so much magic, so much fantasy, and romance. It's like clearly a fantasy book, and the romance is not the main part, but it's enough to like you love it. But it's not so much where you're like, oh my god, this, like, there's nothing happening, these people are just pining for each other. No, it is somehow just the perfect blend of everything, and I could die for this book. I love it so much. So anyways, that's what we are doing for this vlog. We are going to read and finish the third and final book to the Darker Shades series. I cannot wait to give you my thoughts and opinions on this as we go through the vlog together. And really glad that I got to take you guys with me to my tattoo appointment. Now you have another sneak peek into my life. This weekend is going to be quite busy with work and coaching and gym stuff, but we are going to try to chip away at this book whenever we have free time. I will take you guys along with me wherever I can, and I will check in with you when I have another update on this story. Here we go, you guys. Book 3. I am so excited. All right, bye. Well, hello, friends. Good morning. Happy Friday. It is Friday morning. We've made it to the end of the week. And I wanted to do a quick reading check-in with you guys because I am just chipping away at my book so quickly, which is not surprising. There is something about this series for me that I just can't, like, I just truly fall into it. When I open the book and I sit down to read, I am just like heavily immersed. I like kind of forget my surroundings. And also I am really excited because the audio of this is included in Spotify Premium. So I did utilize that a little bit yesterday. I think I listened to like 2 or 3 chapters when I was doing some stuff and I had to walk the dog. And that has been really, really convenient for me. I love being able to kind of do a little bit of both. I'm still not like super audio heavy. I prefer to just physically read a book because I have to admit, sometimes I will get distracted, even with something talking in my ear. I will get more distracted than just sitting down and reading a book. So I could go on for like 2 minutes in an audio and be like, oh my God, like was not listening to that because I'll get like involved in doing something else. So basically I was able to utilize it a little bit yesterday though, and then sit down and read it this morning when I got home from coaching. And I am currently on page 258, and I just wanted to give you my thoughts and feelings on where I'm at in this book so far. Holy moly. This is heavy. This is a heavy story. There is so much emotion in this story that it's like constantly just like tugging on my heart. So in the last check-in, I think I recapped for you that we started back off in this book where everybody has kind of come back together. We finished this tournament from book 2, and everything that was happening in White London, kind of in the background of the second book, finally came to the forefront. And now there's like this dark, evil magic, like pure magic that is overtaking Red London. And all of our characters are kind of coming into their own and learning how to utilize their own skill sets to fight this magic. And it is just so endearing. Everything that has been building in these characters, Rye especially, I think he's just like really coming forward. He has always been a little bit sheltered in the sense where like the king and queen have just like terribly loved him more than anything. And when he was young, when him and Kel were young, they kind of raised them as brothers. But as Rye started to get older and more adventurous and kind of get himself into trouble, the queen was very much like, I need Rye to be protected. So Kel is going to be that for him. That's what he is going to be. Yes, he is our son, but he is an Antari, and his job is going to be to protect Rye. So basically he has lived this life where his parents have always wanted him to be safe and secure, and he is now coming into his own, and he's like, you guys want me to rule? You want me to be the king of this land? You have to let me go, and you have to let me do these things. I have to go out there and be with the people. And it is just amazing. I love this moment for him. He's really kind of like fighting mommy and daddy and being like, you want me to be in a crib forever? Do you want me to rule this kingdom? Because I have to make moves if I'm going to do that. The people need to see me. And that is what he is out there doing. He is out there like pounding the pavement, helping people, trying to save people. Lila is also really kind of honing in on her powers and what she is able to do with those powers, and really understanding what it is that she truly is. Because throughout the first 2 books, you knew that she was a little bit different. She comes from a gray London where she should not be able to utilize magic in any way whatsoever, but she has always been kind of inclined to do so. And then as she learns more about it, is really quite skilled with magic, and it becomes apparent why, because of what she truly is. We also see Kel kind of coming forward again. He's always been that fighter and always been the protector, but now he is like the lead of this. He is like, I am going to really use everything I know as an Antari to try to protect this world and my family and these people. And it's just amazing. The POVs in the book also switch around a little bit more, and not even in a bad way. It flows very well. At this point in the game, you know everybody by name. There's no new characters really being introduced. You're kind of just like in it with this main group of people. So we even got a POV from the queen this time, which has never yet happened. We're seeing a POV here and there from this dark magic, like this entity, this dark being that is coming to rule London. You're getting Holland's POV more. It's just very fluid and kind of pulling everything together. So there's like this major thing happening, and then you're getting like little glimpses here and there from each character, how they're feeling, what it's doing to them. Again, it's all very deep. Like they're all feeling the feels. They're like scared, but they're pissed off. They want vengeance. They want to protect. They want to fight. And I am here for it. And I think I said in the last check-in too, Kel and Lila are very much just like kind of in this now. Like they are, maybe, maybe they haven't put a label on it, but they have feelings for each other. They know that they have feelings for each other. They've kind of made that apparent to the other, and they're really just like writing that out. They're like, yeah, we like each other, and that's it. And we're kind of just like fighting together because we're like badass and magical and we can do all these things and we're super special. And I just love it. I love every aspect of this book. Again, I'm almost halfway through the 600-page book, and it's been like 2 days, and that is very quick for me. Kind of a speedy read for me, but again, it's just the writing style. Her writing is so immersive and descriptive, but never too much. Like you never spend too long being like drawn into something or like told about something. It just feels so natural. And her prose is, like, I use the word poetic a lot when I describe writers, and I don't always mean to revert to that word, but she, like, the words that she chooses to use or the phrases that she'll come up with are just so, like, they just make sense. Like she'll use analogies to things and you're like, oh my God, that was like perfect for that scenario. I don't know. It's just, if you've read her writing, you know what I mean. You know. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? Like, we're literally on the third vlog 3 of a 3-book series. And if you haven't gone out to pick these books up yet, I don't know. I guess my work here is done. I can do no more to convince you. But I wanted to do a check-in with you now because of where I'm at, because I'm almost halfway through, and I'm hoping today is going to be quiet this afternoon so I can get even more reading done, and then probably a little bit tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a really busy day. We have some of our members from the gym competing in a local event. So I will probably be going out there just to kind of support and offer any kind of like coaching advice if they need it. I don't know. Really just moral support and cheering people on from our community. So we'll be pretty busy tomorrow. Sunday will hopefully be kind of chill again, but I am hoping today is my day to really crack down and get further into this story. And we've got like quite a vibe happening because it's like, it's rainy, it's a little bit chillier today, a little cooler, we've got like vibes. We've got vibes happening. I've lit a candle. I'm like super into candles now. I have one lit almost all day long. I'm entering my candle era, and I'm still listening to TTPD on repeat. I absolutely love that album. Sorry, we're gonna have like a little side note here. If you are a Swiftie, this is definitely another one of those albums where it, like, the first time through, I was like, okay, I have like a few songs I like. Second time through, a few more songs I like. And then the more you listen to it, the more you are like, oh my God, she wrote this for me. This song is about me. This is my life. This was me in my 20s. This is me now. I am obsessed. I am literally obsessed. So I'm just really vibing. I've been vibing a lot lately. I've been vibing with the books I've been reading, which is always a big deal for me. And just vibing in another Taylor Swift induced coma, basically. So yeah, getting ready to post my next video this afternoon as well. I'm finishing up the editing and thumbnail for that right now. So that is my menty VR video that is going to drop this afternoon. And then we've got some gym stuff and some work stuff today. And once all of that is wrapped up, I am going to sit down. I'm going to read more. I'm going to vibe with the vibes and hopefully just get further and further on this story. But with that being said, I hope you guys have had a lovely week so far. Here's to the weekend ahead. I hope you have a fabulous Friday, and I will check in with you later. All right, bye.
I want you to stay, honey, I want you to stay. you've been running and I can get you to stay. Every time you leave, well, I just can't wait.
But life keeps dragging me on, I've got to go. There's so much to see in this world, I just have to know.
I want you to stay, honey, I want you to stay. I want you to stay, honey, I want you to stay. I'm lost when you leave, waiting to see what this can be. Every time you smile, you know, you take me away. There's something I could say, well, hey, I'd say it right here.
Friends, hello. Let's sit down and have a chat because I have been terrible at checking in with you guys for this reading vlog, mostly because the weekend was quite busy with some gym stuff that was going on. So it was just a busy weekend, but I have been able to continue to read throughout the whole weekend, and that has been very beneficial. Plus, also incorporating that audiobook along with reading the physical book has been a game changer for me. I am on board. Like, I get it. I don't know that I would love to listen to a book 100% from start to finish on audiobook yet. I'm going to say I'm not there yet. I'm sure the time will come when I will do that, but I do feel like it is beneficial when I'm crunched for time or I just can't stick to my normal routine, like sitting down and reading for an hour, 2 hours, whatever I want at a moment in time, because I'm like running around doing things. It's been so amazing to help me kind of chip away at this book, and mostly because this book is over 600 pages. Again, I have always claimed to be not the speediest of readers. It's just not feasible for me. This is a very long-winded way of me saying I am on the audiobook game. I totally get it. Again, this is becoming very long-winded and not even the point of me wanting to do a check-in with you. The point of me doing this check-in today is to talk about where I'm at in A Conjuring of Light. We are still chipping away at the third and final book in the Darker Shades series, and I am just obsessed. Every time I pick this book up, I forget where I'm at. Like, my surroundings completely just melt away, and I am just in this world. There is something so immersive about the way that V.E. Schwab can write that really just like puts me there. It takes me to where this story is taking place, and I am absolutely obsessed with it. So the last time we checked in, I talked about how the book itself is actually quite emotional. Like, the characters in this book, they are going through it. Like, they are in it from the start of this book. Red London is under attack from this dark entity that was kind of building over time in book 2, and they are taking action to prevent anything else from happening. So the people of Red London are basically at the mercy of this like dark king who's trying to basically take over Red London, and our characters have now discovered a way to try to contain this entity, because that's really what he is. He's a king, I guess. I'm going to say he needs some sort of vessel. So he got to Red London by being inside of Holland. He used him as a vessel to get himself from London to London. And once Holland was able to push him out, now he's kind of just like floating around, like being like this kind of like shadowy king and wreaking all sorts of havoc. He is like a menace to society, and the people of Red London are really just at his mercy, because even though people here have magic, they don't have the level of magic it takes to fight this pure magic that has come from Black London. Like, this is pure raw magic in a shadow form, basically trying to take over Red London. So our characters have now discovered a way to try to contain this entity, and they have gone off on a mission to get this artifact, I guess, if you will. It's called an inheritor, which is basically just like an object. It's an item that they will be able to trap or take this power away. That's what it does. Is it has been used in the past to take power from people, like literally vacuum it up, suck it up in there, and then then it's contained. So we see our characters kind of split off a little bit. Kel and Lila and Holland have gone to do this mission. They've gone back to sea. They have Alucard with them, who was the captain of Lila's previous ship, and they're kind of just getting into all sorts of trouble, going to find where this inheritor is. Rye is back at the castle trying to help keep the situation contained, and he's really coming into his own. I love it so much. Rye in this book is King Rye. You can see him becoming king. He will not be held down by his parents anymore. He's like, I ain't no baby. You are not going to keep me close to your chest. I am going to show the people that I am here for them, and I am going to do whatever it takes to protect my people. And I love it so much. All of the other characters, again, are feeling so much raw emotion in this book. They're discovering things about themselves and feeling really pushed to their limits. We see Lila even go out on this mission with the boys, and she's always felt slightly invincible. Sometimes she seems a little cocky, and now more so that she knows that she has very heavy magic. She is a magical being, but she doesn't know how to utilize all of her magic just yet. So she is not this immortal being that cannot die, even though she sometimes acts like it. And she's gone on this mission with them and kind of faced some situations herself that really had her fighting for her life, literally, and kind of opening her eyes a little bit to understanding where she's at, how far she's come, and what she really wants now. And she's seeing herself kind of settle into this Lila that you didn't see at the beginning of the series, who was constantly running, constantly hiding. She's steeped in shadow herself. She hides around corners. And now she's I'm here. I'm in the forefront. I have feelings for this man named Kel. And I think I'm tired of running. I think I'm tired of putting myself in these dangerous situations. I think I want safety. I think I want to be loved and have a safe life. And it's just, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with all of this. Each character is kind of dealing with their innermost demons through this whole thing, because everything has been turned upside down for them. And I think you're seeing that just because this is a fantasy book, V.E. Schwab is taking something like this, right? A setting that could happen in real life. Something happens, a traumatic experience happens to us, and it makes us step back and think, what is it that we're doing with our lives? What is it that we want to do with our lives? Are we happy? Do we need to change something within ourselves to have a better life going forward? And that, to me, is what is happening with each and every character in this book. And I am eating it up. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I can't get enough of it. Where I'm currently at now, so incorporating my own reading and then the audiobook throughout this weekend, I am on page 438. So we've got, 200 pages left of this book. And I don't know what's going to happen. I, honest to God, don't know what's going to happen. You can see the climax starting to build, and now it would seem like they're going to come back. They have what they need, and they're going to face this Dark King and try to put all the pieces back together and save Red London. And I am on the edge of my seat, if I'm being honest. I don't know if someone's going to get hurt, if someone's going to not make it, if I'm gonna see, I don't even know. That's what I mean, is I don't actually know how this is going to end. So I'm on the edge of my seat, and I cannot wait to see where this story takes me. So with that being said, I wanted to do a check-in because I have not checked in with you guys all weekend. It's been 2 days since I've done a check-in. So today was finally kind of calm and quiet. This afternoon, I went out to Ann Arbor, went to a coffee shop out there. It was really nice. It was actually really crummy weather all weekend, and it was overcast today, but it was dry. So I sat outside with a little cup of coffee. I read my book a little bit. So it was a really nice afternoon to kind of go and just sit, put some headphones in, some dark academia playlists happening in the background, read this a little bit more, and just like breathe. It was just very nice. So yeah, anyways, that's our check-in for now. 200 pages left of this. We're gonna chip away until we are done, and then I will check in with you guys as soon as I have another update. I am honestly building a little anxiety about where this is going, so keep me in your thoughts. I'm gonna need the vibes for me to get through this. That's where I'm at right now. So, all right, bye.
Driving home with my shoes off. It had been too long. The entire month, it'll probably be another one. World's on fire, but gas is cheap. Nothing to do, nowhere to be. I've never been one to watch TV, but I guess they're the first time for everything. You stayed at home, I guess you'd rather be alone than piss your parents off.
Hello. Couple of things. First of all, if you have Topo Chico wherever you live, buy it immediately. Second of all, let's chit the chat a little bit about me finishing A Conjuring of Light and my life being changed forever and ever. Oh my gosh. I loved this book so much. I love this series so much. This is very, very quickly just jumped high up on the list of my favorite series of all time. Like, I can't think of the last time. Well, I guess, okay, that's dramatic. The last time I really felt this invested in a series was probably Throne of Glass. But that was a 7-book series. Like, you have no choice but to get invested. Like, you are in it. Like, you are in that by book 7. And this was a 3-book series that made me feel practically the same way. Like, this ending shattered my heart because I didn't want to leave this world and I didn't want to leave these characters. But it was just like, I don't know, it was so beautifully written. It was just a perfect blend of everything. So the magic in the series, I can't get over. I can't describe to you how V.E. Schwab can write magic. I've said it time and time again. I'm becoming such a broken record about the magic and the way she writes magic. It's like Holly Black writing about fairies, right? Like, this is her expertise. And the magic, even though it was like this elemental magic, we've read about stuff like that before, it just felt so unique to this world and to these characters, and just so many aspects of it. Them being able to use only specific elements, but then the Antari being very powerful magicians and just so unique in this world. And then, like, just the little things too, like Kel and his cloak that he wears, and it, being like this magical thing that like drives him crazy, but is like such a very vivid part of who he is. And I don't know, there was just the magic at the forefront of this story was what really brought this series to life for me. And then also the characters as well. So just getting to spend time with Kel and Lila over 3 books and seeing how they developed this relationship. I don't know if I've read something that truly gave characters the time like this to develop something that felt so real. Like, I had to remind myself I was reading a book because this feels like a couple that I would like emanate in my own life. Like, I loved them that much and I loved them together that much, and I just loved kind of what the balance was between them. So Lila is very reckless and very just like fly by the seat of her pants. Like, she will just do things and question them later. Kel is very thoughtful and he's always concerned about everybody else around him besides himself. And not like Lila is selfish by any means, but it was just kind of like they made this beautiful balance of like someone who is always just like the up here person and the kind of like level-headed balanced I don't know, I'm not describing it well, but they might be like one of my favorite book couples of all time. Also, the character development of everybody else in this book, like seeing Rye come forward, truly stepping into who he is as a king. So him finally stepping forward and learning how to care for his people and do the right thing by his people. Also very sacrificial of himself to make sure that his people know that they have a king that is there for them. Not just that, but also his personal life, like his love life, and kind of bouncing back from a major heartbreak that had happened to him throughout the course of the book. Well, technically like before the books, but you learn about it through the course of the book, and also how he has just kind of grown so much from that and learned how to just be his true self and then finally get the love that he deserves because of that. It was just mind-blowing. And also some of our other side characters like Holland and what happens with him, because he has just led this life that would just like, it would turn your stomach, the things that he has been through, and him kind of coming from that, you know, from White London and being over the twin king and queen and kind of stepping away from that, and then all of the other stuff that he has gone through just to get where he is in book 3. It was all just such a beautiful, like, it just came in for a landing in the most beautiful way. It was top notch, so damn good. Like, I can't press enough how fantastic this entire series is. So the funny thing is, the last book is actually quite long. Like, it's 650 pages long. For me, that's a long book, and that usually takes me a little while to get through. But it never really felt like it was dragging, and that is hard for me to do. So my attention span sometimes can really struggle with longer fantasy series or longer fantasy books, which is why you've seen me in vlogs kind of break up my fantasy with other shorter books, because I need something to kind of like keep the noodle fresh. Like, I can't just like be stuck in something that doesn't really feel like it's moving anywhere until you get to like that third act part of the book, and then like things pick up again. This never ever felt like that. It really just kind of was the perfect amount of time of everything that built up in book 1 and 2 kind of coming to fruition here, and then seeing our characters kind of one final time come together, work together for this final ending of what was in store for them and for Red London. I cried. I mean, are we surprised by that? No. It was just so goddamn perfect, and I can't recommend this series enough. If you like magic, I won't stop talking about the magic. If you like slow burn, we are talking slow, but slow in such a delicious way that it is so worth it. And also just very atmospheric. So this surrounds London, and 3 different Londons, technically 4, right? The other one doesn't exist, but each London just gets a little bit different, a little grittier, a little smoggier. Like you kind of get that vibe from the setting of the book. So it just has like this like beautiful combination of everything I personally love in a fantasy series. So if any of those are like tropes that you enjoy while reading a fantasy book, do not hesitate to grab this one and start it. Like, I do not think you will be disappointed. I think V.E. Schwab can write for everyone. I think because it is such a good balance and combination of all those things, I think you like anybody could really read this series and truly enjoy it. So with that being said, I am just a little mind blown that the entire series is over and I won't be able to experience it for the first time again, but that's okay because you can always go back to London. And that's, I think, what I love too about a series when you get to an end. And yeah, this was a trilogy, so not as long as some other series that I've personally read or you probably read yourself, but you think back on where you came from. I say me as if I changed from book one, but you know, from where our characters started and where they ended, and that's to me the most exciting part of a series. Like, it's my favorite. I just love character driven things so much. I love that feeling of like I personally experienced watching these people grow and change and just like really become everything that they were meant to be. And like I get chills just thinking about it. So anyways, we have done it, my friends. We have finished an entire trilogy. We have vlogged through the entire thing. We started this way back on vacation with my husband and I in Traverse City, and here we are finishing this book here together. The journey must come to an end at some point for all of us. Oh, getting very existential about this whole thing, but I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. Oh, and also, before we clock out here, we're gonna do a little tattoo check-in. So you also saw in this video me going to get my sleeve added to, which again is not a common occurrence. So twice you have gone with me to get tattoos in 2 different vlogs, and this is not something I do all the time. But there you have it. Look at that. That is my reader tarot card. I'm obsessed. I love it. I have a few touch-ups to do. Also, it's hard to see, but this is like my new favorite thing. So, Memento Mori. If you know, you know. The Dark Academia girlies will know. I have it permanently tattooed on my body along with my reader tarot card because a reader I am, a reader I will always be. And this series was no exception to that. It really kind of just like will be with me forever. So I'm even really kind of excited that I had this opportunity to vlog my thoughts and my feelings through all of this. This is truly becoming such a beautiful space for me. I have always loved talking about books. I have always loved reading other people's opinions about books and listening to and watching other people's opinions about books. But the fact that I get to do this now and just kind of like put it all out there, so that hopefully maybe someone, I don't care if it's just one person, but they like stumble upon my vlogs for this series and they are inspired to pick up this book. Maybe they've always wanted to and they finally had the push to do it, or maybe they never even had this one on their radar, but they were like, ooh, it sounds really exciting. I want to experience those thoughts and feelings too. So I'm just really thankful for this space and for you guys, anybody. Again, even if it's just one of you watching this, I am thankful for you and for the opportunity to just word vomit finally and just put it all out there. But again, am I getting existential about this series wrap up? Yes, I am. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. This was such a fun one to do. I can't wait to continue vlogging all of the books I read because again, this is just becoming such a joy for me to kind of document my raw emotions and feelings during these things, because I'm telling you what, I feel them I feel them deeply most of the time. But with that being said, we are going to go ahead and end this vlog here. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. If you liked this video, please hit that thumbs up button because it always helps to grow out. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any of my other upcoming videos, like my TBRs or my wrap-ups or my vlogs that I try to release on a weekly basis, go ahead and hit that subscribe button too. And have you read this series at all? Have you read even just part of the series, or have you finished the entire series? Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are, or if there's anything else out there you think I should read next because I loved this series so much. Let me know that in a comment below as well. As always, it has been an absolute blast, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one.